What's going on YouTube? The Dividend Stock King here with another video. And why is a dividend yield, why is a high dividend yield not great or not all that good? Of course, you want to buy dividends, you want the highest yield, the highest payout possible, but sometimes that is not good at all. I've been burned by dividends with a high yield because they can't maintain that high yields, especially the price drop and and the yield is still high, they can't afford to pay that high yield. And I'll give you one example here. One of my favorite stocks is CLM. It's only $12.24. And the dividend yield is 18%. So it pays a 18 cents a month dividend, which is high for a $12 fund. So this fund, even the Facebook groups I'm in, and they talk about CLM and CRF, the controversy behind it is a very risky stock because the dividend yield is so high. They're paying a high dividend for a $12 stock. Now, this fund has a lot of great companies inside of it that I like, but let's see here by putting a lot of great companies inside of it, um, but the yield is very high. When someone pays that high of a dividend and the yield is that high, it's not a good sign because companies can't afford to pay 19 cents a dividend. Um, I don't think this is working properly, but it has some really good holdings in it. That what makes it strong. Um, Again, look at the 5-year trend of this fund once it comes up. You see, I mean, it's not bad because it's always around 16, $15. Now it's at 12. So it dropped down $3. It's not a big drop off, but at $11, you're paying 19 cents a share, extremely high. And if I see something like this, I think it will be cut soon. But the trend is not too bad. It stays around that 16, $15 mark. The highest it's been is $18. And that's the highest it's ever been. Um, yeah, so right now it's $12.24. The cheapest has been at $6. I mean, I own 58 shares. I continue to buy this. I continue to buy it. This is my personal opinion. I'm not a stock expert or financial expert. So you do your own research before you're buying any stock or share. But yeah, I mean, look at my history by dividends here. We'll look at that real quick. I mean, it's been paying me consistent dividend, but this type of one I'm afraid of because it may drop. November 1st, 2nd, December. I paid 2 times in December, but I probably won't get a dividend in January. I get paid twice in December. But it paid a consistent dividend. But if the dividend gets cut, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put my I wouldn't put my life savings in this stock because the dividend yield is too high and it's too risky for me. Something like Main Street Capital, which costs way more money, and it's a better company. And price doesn't really matter, but it does. I mean, you want to buy a $5 stock and they're paying 35 cents a month. That doesn't make any sense. To me, it doesn't. This is to me. To me, it doesn't. This is a $32 stock and their yield is 7.7, and they're paying a 20-cent dividend, which is not bad at all. When you're 18%, that's a real high. Even 7% is kind of high. Most stocks pay 4 to 5%. Management Cal pays 7%, but 18% is extremely high. And that stock got to be consistently performing. If it underperforms in any way, it's going to tank. And some people like investing in it, some people don't like investing in it. Me personally, I buy a few shares here and there. I watch them closely. If it drops, maybe you play a strategy where you get the monthly dividend and they cut it, you just sell out of it. You got it for a dividend. This is a dividend play. I don't, if it stays the same price for the next 5 years, I don't really matter to me. long as get a consistent dividend. And this one's high to 18%. This is too high. It's way too high. Um, but it pays a consistent dividend. So buy at your own risk. I'm not an expert. Do your own research before you buy any stock or share or fund. Buy anything on the stock market. Do your own research. This is my personal opinion. I wouldn't tell. If I would tell a beginner, buy few but be cautious because the dividend yield is extremely high and it's volatile. I mean, it can collapse. It's not on a strong foundation. If it was like a 10% or 7 or 8%, I feel a little better with it. But 18% and you're paying 18 cents per month is extremely high. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. This is something that, you know, I'll buy here and there. I'm not too big on it. But Robinhood recently came out where you can't buy any more of these types of funds. So if you were to buy this fund, you have to go to a Webull or Fidelity somewhere to buy these. They stop selling them, or you can't buy them no more. But I'd be very cautious with stocks like these. I mean, I had this for almost a year now, and I'm still shaky behind it because that yield just scares me to death. Because if it folds big time. It's going to like just collapse, and won't. The dividend will never. I don't know. The dividend might not come back, but who knows? But like I said, go to the company website, do your own research. Um, my tolerance level is a little bit higher than other people's. Your tolerance level might be low. I tell people in the beginning just to get their feet wet, buy a couple of these, just to get your feet wet with it, and don't put all your eggs in this basket because this basket is very, very fragile. It's been paying dividend all last year, so I mean, it might pay dividends in the next 4 to 5 years. I can't predict it, but this is one of the things where it's just a passive income thing. It's just something that makes some money, and if it falls, you expect it. But yeah, you don't want to stock 18%, even 12% is high, depending on how much the stock costs. If it was $5, even 18% dividend yield, I will not buy it. It's just too high. They can't afford that for so long. So that's the end of my video. This is just my personal opinion. I may be wrong about it. This is my personal opinion. Yes, I bought these shares, but this took a year to accumulate this. It took time. And the dividends that I get from the stock, I usually reinvest it back into the same share. So I get about $10.08 per share of this. I'll add $2-3 and I'll buy another share of this. So I'll still buy this, but very sparingly. I won't put all my eggs in this basket. But that's the end of the video. Please like the video, share the video, and I'll see you next time.